This is an Adventures in Middle-Earth actual play using Fantasy Grounds. You can find session summaries, items and characters on World Anvil, where our campaign is called In the Shadow of the Mountains. You'll find links to that and our other forms of media for our sessions, as well as an index of this episode in the description. This episode has jump cuts to keep the run time down. Previously, the spider threat removed, and the dark underground water is keeping the goblins at bay. Mountain Hall is safe for now. After resupplying, the Fellowship have headed southeast, bound for Rhosgobel once again. This time to attend a Folkmoot, where the movers and shakers of the Woodmen should be in attendance. After a few uneventful days, the party were investigating some ruins for a likely campsite, but it was already occupied by goblin kind, probably orcs. We join the group as Sigmarr has just asked his comrades if the occupants should be left alone or dealt with. Monin takes out his hammer and shield and smiles.
Monin's made up his mind.
Yeah, someone's laid on some entertainment for us.
Do you want to leave them so they'll waylay some traveller?
No, I agree. We need to take them out.
Yeah, this is quite close to the river. You're only about 10 miles from the Anduin here. And this is, you know, east of the river is much more settled than west. This is a more wild lands where you are in, but there's still people who live here. Farmsteads and stuff.
John, are we on high ground or low ground here? Are they above us? They're above us.
They are above
we're
you.
coming up a ravine, aren't we? So yes.
Yeah.
Right. We might want to skirt around these bushes.
Yeah, as soon as you say you hear something or see tracks, Monin's just going to stop because he knows he can be more of a liability than anything if he makes any noise. And just goes, I follow you once the action starts.
Can someone sneak up to see what's there and where they are? Because then that'll help us plan our...
I already am.
Are you?
Well, I said I am a few times.
Okay, good.
Brilliant,
I didn't hear you.
I didn't know that.
Good. So someone's drawn an arrow. That's presumably the proposed route, sort of sheltered by the bushes and then protected by a wall, yeah?
Yeah, but then I thought it's probably better to find out where they are first, actually, before we plan which route. Should we wait? Should we hold our act? Well, we can wait for you to sneak up then, Sigmarr. If you're happy with that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, so wait for Sigmarr and then kind of adjust to whatever he does. All right, sounds a plan. So you can see the terrain. You just role play it that you can only really see probably at the moment this kind of area. That hill is there's sound coming from up there, but not really much else. And you can only see some of those trees. So I'll say what you saw is that area around there is at least about bits of those walls are at least a story high, and that's what you saw from like quarter of a mile away to the west northwest. That's why you kind of diverted this direction. Okay, Sigmarr. So if you're stealthily taking the lead, I'll go to you on the initiative tracker. The rest can kind of adjust to you.
Where did he roughly hear the noise from? Was it the due east of us?
Sort of
That kind of
northeast,
direction, yeah.
Northeast in that sort of ruined building that's at least a story high.
I will dig up to there, see what the terrain's like. Probably, I'm guessing I will creep over to this wall here, and then maybe creep around this way.
Okay, so that bush, that's a tree where you are, and then there's some low shrubs, like waist-high shrubs to the east of it. So this kind of area is a tree.
Yeah.
So you're kind of behind a tree trunk. I'm trying to remember the word. But to get through the bushes, that's difficult terrain. So that's like.
Well, I'm more than happy to go around it, as in south of it.
Okay.
I'm only using that because if they're kind of here, yeah, and they've got any kind of lookout, if I go across open ground, they're going to see me straight away.
Okay, got you. So you're just not really using full movement. They're watching you sneak round. Okay, so you can sneak that way.
How do I go
So yeah, you just move. You're fine.
Okay. Over there, and then up to the wall, have a look over, see what I can see. Essentially go anti-clockwise around until I'm about here.
Okay, so you give me a stealth check to do all of that moving around in the tower. I think you're pretty stealthy. And give me a perception check when you're
in the tower.
Yeah, just so you've kind of as you're listening as you go up. Oh wow, okay. You got to probably about halfway through around the bushes, and you noticed that the grunting stopped in the that kind of tower up above. It's quiet now, and you creep up to a wall. It's about waist high, and you're just below it, crouch down behind it, and you can't see any entrances to the south of that at all.
So can the others see me? Can I signal the others without being seen from where the grunting was, basically?
From the corner of the wall, probably. There's bushes intervening at the moment, though. Unless you stood up, which you probably wouldn't want to do.
Then I'll well, it's hard to say. I can tell you what hand signals I'm doing. I know what I want to convey. Essentially, I'm gonna point towards where the sound's coming from, and then cup my ear and point at my ear.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And stay crouched.
He can hear
So give me. I want to just see if you guys can, because you were following him up easily to the south, but you're a bit below him now, and there's bushes in the way. So everyone, give me a pretty difficult perception check to see if you saw even Sigmarr do that. So DC 18 perception check. You can do this in the open. It's only about whether you understood. So Monin, no. Oh yeah. Hathis. So you managed to kind of track him. Oh wow. So did you, Arahad. You managed to track him all the way round to, and you kind of see him through the underbrush there. You see him make exactly the signs that he described.
Okay, so you can hear him over there.
Should we move round then?
He hasn't beckoned us to move round.
No.
But
Well, can we see him? We'll wait and see what he does next then, John.
Okay.
Yeah, well, it's difficult for me to say what I'm doing without giving away what I'm trying to tell the others. But basically, I think I've been heard or seen or spotted or something, which is why it's gone quiet. So, which is why I'm essentially staying still.
Yeah, it's really tough to convey that.
Yeah. I stop moving and I stay low against the wall, listening.
Have you got your bow out or anything, or?
I probably won't have if I'm sneaking along. To be honest, I mean it'll be
okay.
Yeah, over my shoulder.
All right, just hit next actor. The dog doesn't do anything yet.
No, Huon doesn't do anything.
You see a humanoid figure, Sigmarr, appear out of the eastern sort of wall. You don't know. You're guessing there's an entrance there somewhere. He's looking quite ugly, and he just appears around the corner. He's got a nasty-looking axe out. He's squinting, but his eyes are looking like he's looking around pretty effectively. And let me see if he spots you.
Does he look like someone who's got up to look around because he's heard someone, or does he look up like someone who's just got up to go
have a piss or something? No, he definitely he's got a weapon out. He looks like he's heard something. He looks directly south. So he kind of walks along the edge of that wall. Looks directly south, and then he gets there and he screams this.
P1F 3F EY Louis.
He screams that, and I don't think you can understand that. So, no one can understand that. But he screams something at you or out of the area, and he grabs his axe in both hands, and he's looks like he's looking back over his shoulder. He's doesn't do anything else. Hathis, you're next to react. So you hear this guttural scream come from where you thought you'd heard stuff before. What do you do?
Okay, if I were to move to the bush to the southwest, do I look like?
You don't know. You can't really see any of that building, even you're really down a ravine at the moment, so you'd need to move up to see.
Okay.
You'd have to roll plays if you kind of don't know what to expect when you go around the corner.
Okay, so I'll edge my way up until I can just see whatever is making the noise if I can. If I can't see it, I will keep tiptoeing across to behind this bush to the south, John, yeah?
Yeah, so what? Okay, so you get to about there, looking that direction, and you can see... no, actually, give me a perception check to see if you can see it. It's dusky and stuff, so...
Those sounds... I was 19, then it went to an 8. No, I can't... Oh, should have been in the tower.
In the tower. Cheating bastard.
Not at all. You'd have done the same thing if I got a high roll, so...
It's true. You could see this humanoid, abrasive pants, peering around the wall with an axe out, and you're not moving stealthily. It seems to be looking that direction.
Yeah. I'll try and crouch down
Yep.
and move so that he cannot see me, or is reduced to how much of me he can
You
see
weren't
me?
trying to be stealthy, were you? So okay.
I said I was sneaking up, looking to see.
Okay,
If
give
he
me
could see
a stealth
It's
check.
more
Sorry.
about not just standing up and bumbling up there. Yeah, really.
Yeah, give me a stealth check in the tower as well.
Oh yeah.
You hear another shout as
Yeah,
you move
fuck
across
it.
that open ground.
Okay, and I'll try and keep going to where I am on the map, i.e., that behind that bush.
Yeah, it's about 30 feet to there.
And I was trying to be stealthy, so that was all I'll do. Yeah.
That's full move. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Hit next, and then it's Moanin. So you hear a second scream coming from up the hill.
Okay, do these sound like cries of alarm? Can I tell?
Yeah, it sounds like cries of warning. It's like, but in a much deeper, gruffer voice.
Ah, fuck this. I'm just going to start legging it double speed that direction as far as he can go. He's got to move at 25, so 50 that way.
That's about right. Perfect. Okay, so Hathis is screaming and running around the bush.
No, Moanin.
Moanin is, sorry. There's all stuff is breaking loose now. Another one of these things comes out around the corner from outside, and
Sash.
it crashes into some bushes over that side. It looks like it's trying to get around to the flank. You lose sight of it. You can hear. You don't know exactly in the bushes where it is, but you can hear it in the bushes.
Crashing about. Yeah.
Crashing about. Another one comes running out and follows. So it runs across the space and then crashes into the bushes again, and you lose sight of it. And then Arrowhead, you get to act next.
So this like ravine that we're in, where does it end? Because I want to kind of go up to the first part where it looks like I'd be able to see over and see what's happening.
So probably the squares in front of that would be where you'll be able to see. So the one will be about knee high, the square just in front of that arrow, and the one above that would be like chest high, overlooking the edge of the ravine.
So what I'm going to do is try and sort of move. Basically, I'll move up to there, but keeping sort of ducking down below the ravine height, and then I want to draw my bow and shoot, fire an arrow, anything I see. But
yeah, so if you're being stealthy, you can't. You can only move half move if you're being stealthy. And that's more than 15 feet. So you can draw your bow, but you won't be able to attack.
Oh, okay. In which case, I won't worry about being stealthy on the basis I think they've already seen us. So I'm going to. I'll just run up and.
Okay, free action. You draw your bow, and then. So yeah, he's got partial cover behind from you, and he's the only one you can see at the moment. Abrasive pants. So that attack is at -2.
Okay. Do I get 2 bow shots? Now I get 2 attacks. Does it apply to bow as well? Okay, cool.
Blow him off his feet.
Oh,
that's a hit.
That'll do. Cool.
That did some damage.
Thunk.
That's the first. Do I do my other attack now then?
Yes, please.
You can indeed.
Ooh, 20.
Critical hit.
Whoa. Great, a hell of a shot. So the first arrow struck home, and the second one you got to use that as a sighting shot. The second one skewered his like upper chest, sunk in, and probably came out of his back. It was such a good shot.
That's pretty cool.
Nice. Okay, hit next actor. You can't do anything else. You see a fleeting glimpse of a humanoid goblin or whatever comes out, but he heads north. And you lose sight of him about there, Neil. No one else can see him. And you don't know where he's gone. Sigmarr, your action.
So what's the thing to the east of me? Is that just trees or what?
It's bushes.
So basically,
most of it is scrub. Yeah.
I assume that there's a corner of a wall there.
Good assumption.
Well, as in I can see a wall, but it's kind of...
Yeah, there is a... You would if you actually look at it...
carry on, yeah.
It might go all the way on, but you know there's definitely a wall to there, yeah.
Okay, well, what I want to do is creep into there, hide, wait for the next orky type thing that comes along, and then gut him with my broadsword. But the
brave.
point at which I hide is currently unknown because it's...
So 2 of them have run into that bush, haven't they?
Yeah.
Okay, so move to where you want to move.
Doesn't look like a point at which they will come through, then I'll keep going, if that makes sense.
There is, you can still see a wall next to you there. Just give me a stealth check first. Okay.
Yes.
So Monin, you can't hear Sigmarr. You saw him just disappear along the wall line. The wall continues a little bit further from there, Sigmarr, when you got to that spot. So you've moved 15 feet so far. You can move, if we want to get an action using your cunning action, you can move another 15 feet maximum.
No, as in my cunning action is used to hide, I believe.
Oh, okay.
So I'll get move, hide, and then hold action, if that makes
Okay,
sense.
so the wall continues around there. You can't see the end of it yet. There's
Can I move any
dents
further
under
with
the
my move of 30 feet that I have?
No, you can only move stealthily half speed.
Okay, well, I'll remain hidden there then and have my broadsword ready to gut the nasty thing that comes along.
Okay, anything that comes over. All right. They're not being particularly quiet. Huon's action.
He's going to trot up to beside Hathis, and then he'll use his action to listen for any nasty humanoids nearby, which, from what I've seen of the combat tracker movements, there aren't any, but that's what he would do.
Okay. So, yeah, just give me a listen roll in the tower for him. He's really good at listening. I think he's got advantage as well.
That's with advantage. Does he have advantage?
Okay.
Yeah, he does. He's listening. Yeah.
So you can pretty much hear every thing on the board that you've seen so far.
Yeah.
He's aware of things crashing through the bushes. His ears are pricked up. He's looking concerned.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just if there's anyone sneaking by to the south, for example, he would go apeshit. But there isn't. But that's what he does as a general. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's done now. He's happy.
Okay. So Abrasive Pants acts next. He runs back up there. You lose sight of him, Arahad. So you don't know how far he went or where he went or anything.
Okay.
Hathis, your action next.
Okay, he will. How thick are these bushes to my northwest? Can I wiggle through them, or is that?
Yeah, you can get through them.
Okay, so he wants to sort of be a bit concealed in the bushes, and he will get his bow out.
Okay, so you got some light concealment there.
Yeah.
But it's
He's
probably
not
not going to defend against an arrow, but yeah. Okay.
No. Yeah, and he will hold an action where if something crosses his line of sight that looks humanoid and orcish or whatever, he'll try and bow it. Now he's drawn his bow, yeah?
Okay. Here, next actor, Monin.
Has he actually seen any orcs yet? Because he's sort of running around the bush.
No, he's not actually.
So in that case, then he'll run forward another 25.
Yeah.
Which way's forward? Is he heading north or okay?
Well, that's it. And he sort of looks up and down. These rocks.
Everyone's disappeared.
They look impassable.
No, it's just rubble. They look fairly easy to move.
And what's that terrain like there going north?
It's slightly uphill, but it's fairly easy. You can do it. So anything that's pale green, you can move pretty easily. Anything that's like rubble strewn is difficult maneuver.
Sorry, John, I interrupted you. You said something about the rocks.
Yeah, so the rocks are difficult terrain, meaning half move across the rocks to stop yourself twisting an ankle or whatever.
Did he ever see Sigmarr up by the wall at all?
Nope. He didn't spot him.
You said
hear the ones crashing through the bushes.
He saw Sigmarr slip into the bushes, but he didn't hear him.
Yeah, I suppose what Monin would then do is sort of run forward, then sort of go, and then stop and just listening to see if he can hear any orcish cries from anywhere to see who to latch onto.
Yeah, give me a perception check in the tower. Yeah, you can definitely hear orcs crashing quite noisily through the bushes.
Okay, that's the direction I'll go then.
In front of you. Okay, so yeah, you can make another move. They're making quite a loud noise, the orcs.
Okay, that didn't count as an action.
No, they're making too loud a noise.
I think as far as you can go then.
Okay, so what's your passive perception, Monin? 12. No, you can't see Sigmarr.
Okay, yeah, so he's just got his shield out, hammer out, and just looking around for somebody to come at him. Come at me, bro.
All right. You hear this crashing in the bushes up ahead, and then you hear this grunting and screaming. Don't know what it means, and that's everything. You don't see any orcs in Sigmarr. No orc appeared. You heard literally probably 10 feet away from you. That's where the grunting came from, but you can tell someone probably hit the wall and have gone east, not west. And you don't know what they were shouting, unfortunately, either. And then you hear the other orc that went into the bushes following along, but it seems like it headed pretty much straight straight east anyway. You don't know where they are. Can't see anything. Arahad, you're up next.
Okay. So can I hear these orcs as well? So I know
Yeah,
where they are roughly.
it's loud enough. You know they're somewhere in those bushes to the east of that wall.
Okay. And I can't see anything else. I can't see any others to the north.
No, but then
Okay.
there's a lot of cover up there. So
Well, when you say there's a lot, so the bushes and the walls.
the walls, yeah. So if they're crouched, they're like 3 or 4 feet tall, so they'll be able to get cover behind those two.
Okay. So I'm going to run across. So how far can I run? 30, is it? Or...
Double move would be 60. Single move would be 30, and you can still attack.
Yeah, so Matt, the actions you get in a round are move, which is up to your movement rate, and an action. Okay,
Right.
So the action is like attack, for example, and you get a bonus action, which they vary depending on what bonus actions you have. But those are the 3 main things you do. You can get a free action as well, which is something like drawing a weapon, but you only get one of those around, or speaking. Opening a door is typically classed as a free action, and then you get a reaction. But it's basically that's contingent on something else. Like somebody moves out of your threat range, you get a reaction to attack them, for example. But that's all you can do. You can treat your action as another move, which is what Chris was saying. You can move like double the normal move, but that means you don't get an action as well.
Okay. But I can't shoot at anything, so I might as well. I'll move up. I'm going to move up to. Can I? So I can't see Sigmarr.
You can't see. You can just see
Rowan
Hathis.
either.
No, you can just see Hathis. So just to let you know, Matt, that you can. There are some other actions other things you can do in your round, like readying an action. So if you describe something that's going to trigger an action from you, for example, I will train my bow on the corner of the wall and bow anyone coming around it. If you see someone come around it, that will trigger your action to happen.
Yeah.
So you could do something like that as well if you wanted.
Yeah. So I think that is exactly what I'm going to do. So I'm going to move.
So you can't take a readied action and partially have a turn like move and do a bonus action and then just ready an action. Has to be just a readied action for the turn. So you could stay there and shoot anything if you wanted to do that as a readied action. But if you start moving, you can't.
Oh, see. Okay. Right. So yeah, I'm going to. So can I? So I'm going to move across. I'm going to assume these. Did the was it a goblin or whatever, the humanoid I saw, did it have any? It just had an axe, did it? It didn't have any missile
The one
weapons.
you saw had an axe. We haven't seen any others since.
Right, okay. That's the only one I saw. So I'm just going to move across to the right, and I'm going to switch back to my sword.
Yep. So you kind of nipped across the front and around behind the wall.
Yeah.
So the wall's about 3 or 4 feet tall. It gives you some cover if they had missile weapons.
Yeah.
But you still can't see any other orcs or anything.
I can just hear crashing noises there, can't I?
Yeah, in the bushes.
Yeah.
Or they've kind of gone quieter over the last couple of seconds. It kind of looks like they may have gone out of somewhere.
All right, I think that's my go. So I'll just click on next action.
Hathis, from around the corner of the wall, running hard, is an orc. Let me see if he spots you.
I can't do anything because I moved last round. Hopefully he'd be so far away I could slay him brutally before he gets to me.
Yeah, clearly. Let's see, perception. He moves some distance and then he spots you. Move another 35. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. He comes sprinting down the hill, axe at the ready, man flesh in his eyes. You can see meal written all over your face, like old Dodgery falling through a hedge. Sigmarr, you are up next.
It is I. Well, so nothing came round then.
You heard them probably get to the wall and move slightly away from you, so they're probably, you would guess, towards the outside edge of that bush.
If I don't move and stay hidden and keep holding my action to gut the next orc that comes by, do I have to roll stealth again?
No.
Okay, I'll do that then.
Okay. Huon, your action.
So Huon will run to Hathis's aid as much as he can. He can't move and attack, but he'll move up
5, 10, 15, 20.
He wants to move to about there, I guess, and start barking loudly.
Right. Round the corner comes another humanoid. Runs down to there. He's got an axe out. He's limping, and he's got an arrow out of his. He's snapped off in his chest, by the looks of things as well. Which is not. He's not in a good shape, but he's running down towards you as well.
Okay, Hathis will draw his quarterstaff. Just drop his bow completely. Drop his bow completely. Draw his quarterstaff. Take a 5-foot step. Not that it matters, and attempt to tonk this creature.
Okay.
Which is not necessarily the most sensible thing he's ever done, but he's a bit worried.
Wow, good hit.
That's 4.
It's total of 4. That was from Ewan, but it doesn't really matter. Okay. That was 2 crazed smile.
Cool, yes. I found them! They're over here!
It's going.
Yeah, I can imagine.
You don't get to attack zone. Monin, you can hear sounds kind of northeast of you, underbrush, fracking and stuff.
Do I hear Hathis's, I found them, they're over here?
You did hear that as well. Hello, only me. Yeah.
So I don't want to bother you, but there's a couple over here.
Can he see Hathis has actually got 2 people coming at him, or is it too thick in this bush?
You'd need to spend some time to look if you want to look that way. No, it's not obvious. There's bush in front of you, and then you're looking along the edge of a bush, and you can't even probably see Hathis there either. Okay,
so this noise to the northeast, is it close?
Hard to tell. It's within like 40, 50 feet, you would guess.
Okay, this is a bit hard. Okay, so he's gonna pull out of the bush because he hasn't got no clue.
Sorry, that's a euphemism if ever I have one. Okay.
So move that far, and then just put his horn to his lips and just blow it a few times and see what comes.
Very cool. That's nice. So you are basically saying, I'm here. Are you yelling anything in Dwarvish as well?
Yeah, the usual Brack has axe of the dwarves in it. So whatever hammer of the dwarves is, and Kazada menu, the dwarves are upon you.
Okay, fantastic. So you move out, make a lot of noise. You can still hear crashing movement from the east. You're looking that way now. Give me a perception check in the tower to see if you can see that orc or orcs up that direction. No, unfortunately.
Okay.
You can hear shouting from shouting from northwest, and you can hear movement from the east. Unfortunately, can't see anything yet. Okay, next up, let's see which way he goes. Round the corner of the bush to the south comes an orc. You heard like sounds of some humanoid running over rubble, skirting around the edge of the bushes, and then I guess Arahat's probably still looking north. Yeah, you can just hear and sense this orc coming around the bushes to the south. See what the other one does. And suddenly, right beside you, Sigmarr, you suddenly sense this orc. It has not seen you, so it's going to get a hell of a surprise, I think.
Do you get advantage on attack?
If I'm hidden, I think so.
Yeah, so you get advantage to hit. I think that's the other thing you need to check. Stab him with the broadsword. Nice advantage. Definitely hit.
And because he's had advantage, does that give him sneak attack?
That now gives you sneak attack, yeah.
Sneak attack.
Oh, that's going to sting.
Ouch. Okay. So you crouch, leap straight into its face, and your sword pierces its reeking stomach and comes out of its back as you stab it. You just unfortunately miss getting into the chest cavity, but it's a hell of a wound, and you rip the sword free afterwards, and it's like there's this scream of pain from this poor damn thing that's crawling through the bushes.
There's one in here.
What the fuck do you want me to do about it? They will say. Okay, hit next actor. Arahad, you're up next.
Okay.
So Arahad, at the moment, you'll need to make a perception check to look west. It's a bit easier for you because you've got a better angle than Monin had. You cannot see anything in the east. You can just hear a guttural scream, and you can hear this orc coming round from the south as well. That's what you know at the moment.
Okay, let me do a perception check then. I've heard Hathis say there's some over here.
Okay.
And we look fairly well covered in this area, so I'm going to run back to help him.
Good man.
And I'm going to hit it, hopefully.
Okay, that is a hit.
Oh, nice.
That's first attack.
Ouch, it says.
And then second attack.
Definitely hit. Foe of my enemy, turn that back on.
Okay, so it's still alive. You gash its leg really badly, and blood spurts into the dying light of the dusk, and it shrieks the horrible howl of pain. It's limping really badly, and almost like eyes look like about to roll up in its head.
Not as easy as you thought.
It definitely isn't. Who's he going to attack? Okay, it's going to
It
bite
could run
at you.
away, John. Once.
It's good. No, it's like stumbled forwards. It's done. It's going to bite at you, Hathis.
God, those dirty teeth. I bet he hasn't brushed them.
And it missed you, and then it swings its axe at you with its last action. Arrowhead maybe misses you completely. Too much blood loss.
Floundering.
Sigmarr. Oh dear, this thing may be in trouble.
It's just a normal attack, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's not surprised anymore. Well, it's still a little bit surprised. Ooh. Shrieks in the bush.
And I'm going to use my bonus action to disengage and move back. However far I can move back. Can I move back 30 feet?
You can. So it's each 5 foot in the bushes is classed as 10. So it's 10 foot to go 5 foot back, and then you can move pretty much normally after that.
I think I'm going to there.
Yep. That's fine. Right, let's do some grunts and shouts.
It seems to have worked. Hathis acts as the bait. He's the tethered goat, and then you guys run along.
What's the one that ran off to the north?
He's the one. He's Crazed Smile.
Oh, is it? Oh, right. Okay.
South. The one that was bowed by you twice is the one just behind him.
Right, yeah.
But he's heavily damaged as well. So they're all. It's only the one to the south of that bush near Monin that's
fully operational.
Yeah. Huon is going to dart in and try and actually attack this creature because it looks like it's on its last legs. Abilities, actions.
Last leg, anyway.
Last legs.
You hit. Huon killed it.
Throat out.
Right, yeah. It was staggering, dropped to its knees, and your dog leapt and bit its neck out.
Cool.
Fantastic.
Love it. Good boy. I'll give him a little pat on the head. You know what I mean?
Give him
a good boy. Such a good boy. His daddy's little boy.
So, nice job from Huon. Abrasive Pants leaps into attack next.
He was charging down behind his colleague who was hale and hearty.
Just seen him. Let's say, and he just had this dwarven war cry. Let's see what he does.
Code Brown.
Fucking no, he doesn't. He goes fuck. He slides to a stop about there, and then turns and just absolutely pegs it back up the hill. 55, 60. You can't see where he's gone from. Well. He just disappeared as he went around the corner. You're pretty sure you know exactly where he is, but that's all he does.
He's going to be under his own mattress. He'll do a quick look around to make sure that Huon and Arrowhead are fine, not bleeding from any wounds. Thank you, brother. He'll say to Arrowhead, and then he will.
You're welcome.
He will.
Anytime.
There's no time for chit chat, and then he'll sort of swinging his staff menacingly. He'll just head towards the middle of that clearing, kind of thing. Actually, whatever. 5'10", 5'10". So it's going to be there. Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, he can do a double move, can't he? No, he won't go any further than that.
This is on the offensive. Okay, Monin. But he's run around at the back of some bushes for the entire combat so far. Where do I go?
Okay, he's going to charge Mediocre Sash then.
Okay, good man. It's the Monin we know and love.
Better late than never.
Have we heard any other noises apart from these lot? There's nothing coming from anywhere else.
No, just those east and west attacks from to each direction. That's all you've heard so far.
Fine,
but if there's anything else in the neighbourhood, they'd have definitely heard the horn. So.
Need to target him.
Oh,
You definitely miss, so that's a
we'll
good
use
time
that,
to use
yeah.
inspiration.
okay, good. I just dropped on top of him on the map.
Okay, I was going to say.
Yeah, so dropping the dice on the target, that's if you're only attacking one thing, it's the guaranteed way to not untarget it. Oh, good use of inspiration. That one hits.
Cool.
Oh, nice damage. Wow, good chunking strike that was. You get one more attack as well.
Okay. Okay.
That's a hit.
And then I'll use my bonus action to hit him with my shield bash.
Ooh, using a new feature.
Which is a critical.
You're critical. Whoa. What does that do? So your target's... Holy shit. Okay, this is what you did with your critical. I haven't seen these critical tables before.
Hang on.
So you crushed his head with your shield.
Brilliant. Smack, bang, bang, splat.
Yeah, you stabbed it, like crunched him twice. He was like completely sucker punched him with his shield right into the head, and you hear a sickening crunch with the boss that strikes his face from a side he wasn't expecting. He just crumples to the ground. That's a cool crit. Whoa, that's quite dangerous critical.
Yeah, does that happen to us as well?
Could do, yeah.
Excellent. I'll stay down, you wee bastard!
Okay, that was that. Broken eyes. What's he going to do? He had a sickening crunch to see if he's like craps himself with a morale check. Oh, good. Okay. You hear this crashing of bushes, and definitely hear something running north. You can't see it from outside the bushes. Arahad, you get to act next.
Okay. So the one that ran off to the north, I'm going to run. Changing. Can I run and change back to my bow? I can go.
So to take a weapon out and sheath another one takes an action. You dropped your bow to be able to get your sword out. So your bow's on the floor at the moment.
Okay. This guy's pretty fast, isn't he? So I wouldn't actually be able to catch him. Is that right?
It's about the same speed as you. So no.
But if I want to pick up my bow from the floor, that will be an action. Did you say?
So the rules are you can move one weapon around as a free action. However, you did two. You did a bow and your sword last time, which means that needed an action to do. So this time, to pick one up is a free action. However, that means you'll have a bow and a sword in your hand. So if you sheath your sword afterwards, that's an action. So you'd have a bow in your hand, you'd have taken an action, but you can't fire this round. That's what that means.
Unless I drop my sword.
Unless you dropped your sword, you could do that. That may cause problems later if you run after him and don't have a sword. So.
Yeah, no, it could be a bit dodgy.
It's a bit desperate.
I'm just going to run after him with my sword then.
Yeah, so you can at least keep a track of him.
Yeah. So 60 I can go, can I?
Yep. So 60 is to that level there.
Yeah,
you can get to that square.
Yeah, I'll get to there and see if I can see him. I'll also be ready for him hiding around the corner just in case.
You definitely can see him, and he's
can I hit him? No.
No.
Oh, he's running away.
He's pegging away as fast as you're running. It's just it doesn't go sequentially, the movement. So yeah, you can see him running away, but you can't attack him. You've had all your actions. So Sigmarr, your action. Are you saying anything, Arahad?
Yeah, I'll just shout. He's here.
You saw Arahad run past that wall, Sigmarr, and you heard him shout, "He's here."
Yeah, I also saw some go out of the door of the place and head north as well. So I'm not sure if they're the ones that came round the building or not. Well, if I didn't see those anyway. So I'm gonna just shout to Monin that something to that effect. I saw one head out the building the other direction, and then I'm going to hop over the wall and leg it in that direction. So
okay, so to get over the wall, it's just difficult terrain. It's pretty straightforward to get over, so it costs an additional 5 feet of movement. That's all. So it's 30 feet to there, so it'd be 5 foot less than that, basically.
And then I've got my bonus action to dash, which would be 5, 10, 15,
There's a total of, 55 feet from you?
5, 30, so I can get to there.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay. So
I'm running along with my broadsword out, basically.
Okay, you can hear something running from that direction, sounds of running from that direction. You glance in, it's a very dark, fairly well preserved part of the building. It's got a roof still. Looks like it was the partly rotting wooden floor above. It's from a 2-story building, but it's providing a lot of shade in that room. But that's all you really see. There's a bit of a stench as you run up. Arahad. So at the moment, we're in a chase scenario, so I need to just do a quick check on the chase rules. 1 second.
How did he Arrowhead again? 'Cause he just run up and said he's here. Then Sigmarr.
It's just magic, Chris. You missed
I didn't. I probably didn't click the next actor button, did I?
But Sigmar's had it go.
It was Sigmarr. It's him this time. Sorry.
Oh.
So yeah, you were right. What does Huon do? Sorry.
Huon will run up. He's going to run up sort of to roughly where Sigmarr is now, i.e. that side of the building, going forward slightly ahead of where Hathis is going.
Okay. I think he can move quite far, can't he? I think.
Yeah, he can move 40, so a double move is 80. So he's done
Yeah.
45, 50, 55, 60, 75, 80. He's next to Sigmarr. That's his 80 double move. That's him done.
He has Sigmar's trousers out. Okay. Let me just do a quick search for chase rules, because I'm not sure if you can get attacks and all penalties. 1 second. Chases.
Given he's heavily wounded as well, you'd think he wouldn't be able to run so fast.
Well, he's motivated though, isn't he?
If only we were playing Rollmaster. There'd be all sorts of problems with him if he's that heavily wounded in Rollmaster. He'd have some horrific stun lock, which means he couldn't attack and just gets pounded to death. But
Sounds good.
Chase.
First of all, you have to put on the Benny Hill music.
Atmosphere.
I think the rules are that if your character name rhymes with Big Mar, then you catch the enemy and defeat them spectacularly.
Easily, every round. Chase. Here we go. Beginning of chase. Blah blah blah. Dashing. Okay, so this is quite neat actually. The only way you'll be able to catch someone who can move the same speed as you is to out-endure him, basically, or her. So you can dash a number of times equal to 3 plus your con modifier. Each additional dash takes during the chase requires the creature to succeed in a DC 10 con check at the end of the turn or gain 1 level of exhaustion. So you basically, if you're trying to chase him down, you'll be better off because you've got a range of 600 feet with your bow to take your bow out and just stop and bow the crap out of him. But that's just me saying.
I don't think I've got my bow though, have I?
No, you don't.
No, that's the problem with dropping your weapon early in the combat.
I do have a dagger. Can I throw a dagger at him? Or I guess the range isn't enough, is it?
Well, it's not your action right now, so I'm not going to use the chase rules unless you're going to chase him across the entire wilderness.
Well,
which you can do.
Necessary.
But, I mean, this thing will just carry on running. Basically, it's like heavily injured. He just saw one of his mates get his throat ripped out after being brutally attacked. And he heard horrible screams coming from the rear. So he goes around that corner of that wall and he kind of pegs it right. Huon and Sigmarr, you can see this orc, and I should get it roughly correct.
He's stuffed now, hasn't he? He's gone up to the cliff edge. Can he get down there, John?
It's looking like it's like an escarpment. It's a lot easier to go down than it is to go up, even if you just slide. It's not vertical, no.
Sigmar's tooled up though, isn't he?
Sigmarr could potentially bow him, yeah, so... Oh, he's got his broadsword at the moment. So that's all he does. So he's carrying on. He moves 60 feet out that way. Hathis, your action. You can't see him at the moment.
No. He will move up to about here and stop and take a bit of stock and also a bit of a sanity check of what's he doing, where is everyone, is he exposing himself, etc. So he'll probably stop and look around.
Okay, give me an insight check in the tower just to kind of work out what's going on.
Yeah.
You're kind of looking at the guys running north. Your sense is basically any surviving orcs are north, and you can see one heading down that cliff. So your assumption is they're all kind of anything surviving is going down that cliff to the north.
Yeah, as far as Hath is concerned, we've driven him off. He's going to stop running and pant a bit and stand where he is. He's not going to expose himself to ambush or getting jumped by sprinting off after an orc. That's a bit too crazy even for him.
Okay.
Okay. Monan's going to peg it north, chasing Sigmarr, trying to catch these phantom orcs.
Okay. So he's going over the wall there?
But as far as he can do, 40 feet.
Yeah, okay. You see,
just about go for the wall.
You see like it's a 3.5 foot wall and Monan's about 4 feet tall. He's like, you hear this armour scraping as he gets over the top and drops down the far side.
Through it.
Okay, next up, you see to the east of you an orc break cover sprinting north as well. Sees you and goes, "Rah!" So broken eyes, then diverts. That's 15. So he goes somewhere around that kind of area. You lose sight of him around that bush, Arahad. So if you wanted Arahad, you could move 30 feet and throw. You need to drop your sword as a free action and take your dagger out as an action, which means you're down to one weapon and you're about to throw that away. And that's the only way you can throw a dagger at it this round.
Yeah, no, I'll do that. So
leave a mark on the map where you've dropped all the shit, because otherwise you might just lose it.
I'll drop it where I am now.
Okay.
And I'm not gonna run. There's no point in me running after it with no weapons, I don't think. So, and then I'll do that, and I'll throw. So I'll drop my broadsword. I'll take up the dagger and throw it at him.
Okay, so I think what's the range of a dagger?
This is 20/60.
Yeah, so you are at, it's over 20 feet away, so you're at disadvantage to hit.
30 feet. Okay. It's a bit of a long shot, really, isn't it? But anyway.
Yeah, so just click disadvantage. Good luck.
All right, here we go.
That missed.
That's not better.
So you've now lost your dagger. It whistled over somewhere. You hear it skittering down in the dark into the cliff edge beyond.
Damn it.
It's sufficiently dark now that only Monin and Sigmarr are attacking normally. Everyone else, it's so dark that you're attacking at disadvantage. So Arahad, that was all your action. Just cross off a dagger. I think it probably does cross off automatically, actually. Just hit next actor, Sigmarr. It's up to you.
Up to me to take them both out.
Of course.
I'm hoping that Ewan can go for the one on the edge of the cliff. So I saw one go. Over
so so the one on the cliff edge you can see. You saw one just run around that side, but you've lost sight of him now. He's just run around that bush between the
10,
wall and the bush.
10, 20, 25, 30. Yeah, I'm probably not going to catch him. I've got my sword out, so I'll run and dash up to the one on the cliff edge and stab him over. So if the
you can do a dash. You can do a dash as a bonus action, can't you? So okay. Yeah, so you do catch him. You've put on a burst of speed. You've got your sword out still, and good luck.
That'll do.
That is a hit.
Trick.
That is a trick. So you hamstrung him. He goes face first into a whole load of boulders as he flies over the edge. Nice work.
Nice.
And what can I see down there? Is there the larger orc encampment from this scouting party?
The army's part down there.
The main host is down there. Yeah.
I know you guys have all seen Lord of the Rings. It's just like the host outside Mordor. They just come pouring out of holes in the... No, it's there's nothing down there.
Who blew that horn?
Right, Ewan. What's Ewan doing? So the only person that can realistically track and catch that orc is Ewan. Realistically, now it's going to be into some thick woods and bushes, and you may be able to hear
it's
it.
Legging it. It's pitch
legging
black.
It's trying to escape. Yeah.
So yeah, Ewan is just settling down, looking at Brother Hathis. Hathis is not looking to chase it, so he's not doing anything really offensive or useful. Hathis would let it go. You wouldn't go running out in the dark after a lone orc that's nearly dead.
Okay, so you kind of keep Ewan by your side. Hathis, do you want to... You're just
Nope, Hathor's
not going to do
just
anything.
going to go.
All right, I'll take
He's
us out of
close.
combat. You hear this like crashing of underbrush, which gradually gets quieter over the next 20, 30 seconds, and it's suddenly all still again.
Where's these orcs?
Moaning comes wheezing
Oh,
up.
we took care of them. We took care of them days ago. Anyway, the kettle's on. We finally made it up.
Yeah.
How did you get on? Did you find any?
So you have a look around. So there are basically indentations in the leaf mulch and stuff in that room where there would have been 4 humanoids sleeping. So it looks like they've just were sleeping there overnight, probably on the move. There is remnants of a fire, still some like embers that are glowing, but there's not a lot of heat left in it. But no other equipment or anything. Looks like because they heard you, they prepared and grabbed their weapons and stuff to attack. The interesting thing, though, Hathis, is you look around at the stonework, that the walls here. Actually, give me a law check of some description.
Shadow law.
Either law or history. History check, actually. Give me a history check.
I like law. Law's good.
I know, but look, this
Do you
isn't
want
really
the tower?
law.
No.
This is,
No.
history in the tower, yeah.
It says dark foreboding. Don't look at that.
Yeah, so you would guess that these walls were probably built by the Dunedain. They're very well constructed. This is definitely had some sort of military purpose, some sort of fortification, hilltop fort, something like that.
And is Arrowhead Dunedain, or is he?
Arrowhead is Dunedain, yeah. So if Arrowhead had a look, he'd probably gauge that.
Yeah, as and
more
when
clearly.
he finishes from retrieving his weapons, he's scattered liberally around the area.
Yeah, so that circuit. So this looked like probably an outbuildings. That there on the circular building was probably a tower, maybe even as high as 3 stories originally. So that's definitely the highest part of the hill, and it overlooking. It probably was
Signal
designed
tower.
to protect from the south.
Look out.
Yeah, something like that. So it's partially collapsed now. Bits of it have fallen down. The rest is sturdy enough. But this is looks like it's. I mean, no one's been living here for centuries, but it could be rebuilt potentially.
We found a fixer-upper.
That's just what I was thinking.
We could get a couple of holiday rentals in there, I reckon.
So you also, and it was you really, Monin and Hathis, as you got towards, say there's a tree there. What is really strange, there is a real, so is Dark Foreboding your skill, Hathis, or is it Monin's?
I've got it.
I don't know, it's just come
I
up.
think there's a few of us have got it.
I put it on there because basically one of the things it says is that you can tell whether or not an orc band is part of a larger force, or I can't remember exactly what it says.
Oh, gotcha. It's not part of a larger force. They were isolated. So yeah, thanks for. Yeah, you didn't see any other tracks to that effect either. So the people with Dark Foreboding as a sense, you get a sense that this may have once been built by the Dunedain, but it's been influenced by the Shadow over the last century. So give me an intelligence investigation check, Sigmarr, as you're kind of walking around the ruins and looking at them. Wow, okay. Fantastically well done with that roll. So some of the trees on the east of the areas, you kind of walk over and look at the circular tower, that kind of stuff. You notice, and it's only because you've got great vision in the dark, much better than the other humans here, that some of the gnarled old boles of the trees on the eastern edge of this kind of escarpment have what look like sinister, unnerving, agonized faces. So what you thought were just like boles in the trees and weird growths and stuff sticking out and look like faces. And you advise, don't go near those trees. There's something very, very wrong with them. Exactly where the hobgoblin ran into, basically. But you made such a good check that everyone can remove 1 point of shadow.
Wow.
For seeing that warning. And also, you get inspiration for that, Sigmarr.
Oh my.
Nice.
Bloody hell.
Well checked out. You avoided any of the real problems here. You absolutely know you shouldn't camp here. This is tainted. So what could have made a really good keep absolutely won't now until something is done by a wizard more powerful than you to remove the taint in this area.
So
I will.
Hathis doesn't think it'd be as simple as just burning the trees. It's far too tainted.
I thought, just chop them down, but
Yeah.
beyond that, I think the very place is tainted rather than an individual tree has been carved into a novelty shape that might scare you. Does my dark knowledge tell me any more, John? And learn the Black Speech Order can make ability checks about information regarding the shadow and its followers without penalty.
Yeah, give me a check. It's pretty hard to be able to determine based on what Sigmarr described, but give me a check. Good luck. It needs to be a good roll.
Okay, this is a shadow lord in the tower, yeah.
So you just get a sense that if you stayed here for a long time, the pervasive evil that you're sensing would kind of start eating into you and affect you all sort of psychologically.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's all you really got. Okay, I'll leave some more details. So you urge people not to possibly go there ever. It's really dangerous. And I'll leave a bit of details.
Yeah, we're on our way to Rhosgobel, aren't we? So we can definitely put the word out from there, and probably even, I don't know, if we tell people in Traitors Island, is that going to do more harm than good?
Well,
I guess we should tell.
You know, if we warn someone, that's all you can do, really. It's a big world.
Yeah.
Yeah, just give them a rough idea of where it is. I'll put some details around this for you guys later. I'll just drag a map in there as well so you know what it looked like. You move in the dark a little bit further east, avoiding that copse of trees, definitely about another mile, and then camp that night.
John, can I assume I can find, my bow I should be able to find. What about the dagger?
Dagger you won't, not in the dark. So just cross that off. I'll say you can find your bow, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and the next day you make Traders Island by the end of the day and sleep there, which is fine. Following your trip over the Anduin, it becomes much easier going, and you're in much more familiar country. It's easier. There's a lot less dangers and stuff around, and you make it all the way to Rhosgobel with, actually no, it's not quite uneventful, but there's just a skill challenge for, I think, Sigmarr for the final
we made
bit.
Rhosgobel a thingy, didn't we, as well?
Yeah, it's a haven. Yeah. So who's the hunter? I think it's Arahad now. Is that right?
No, he's now it's actually Brother Hathis.
Hathis the hunter.
He's the hunter, and the guide is Arahad, and the scout is Sigmarr, and the painter decorator is Monin.
What, mate?
Okay.
Take a few weeks, that is.
Okay, so at the moment, I just need, you're over halfway, an exhaustion check. So everyone give me a constitution check. See if you suffer an exhaustion.
An ability check or a save?
It's not a save, it's a check.
Open.
And do you want it?
You can do it in the open, yeah. You'll know if you do badly.
Ooh.
Like Hathis did, for example.
I got 1.
And Monin did. Well, okay. So Monin and Hathis, you pick up a point of exhaustion.
Bloody exhaustion.
Can I use inspiration?
You can to re-roll a check. Yep.
Because that 1 point of inspiration, that point of exhaustion means you have disadvantage on all skill checks, right?
It's all skill checks, yeah.
Yeah. Makes you bloody useless for
Oh, for fuck's sake.
This was only a 10, but yeah, unfortunately, you burned an inspiration and didn't get any benefit from it. You are both exhausted, so that is -1 to all checks. I can put an effect.
We're only going
to
Rhosgobel, aren't we? We're only around the corner. We'll be all right. We've got Arahad and Sigmarr to save our asses.
However, as you're travelling and getting a bit weary, but you're nearing Rhosgobel probably only 2 or 3 days out. 2 days out, you see a potential, Hathis, for a tasty feast. There are, as you know that as there are some large rabbits, they get larger and larger the closer to both Bjorn's Hall and Rhosgobel. And there is a field of some really fat bastards grazing on what look like really nice herbs. So it looks like there would be an amazing flavour dinner tonight if you want to try and hunt them.
Do I think that would be in any way a social faux pas this close to Rhosgobel? It's not going to be someone's field of pet bunnies that would be a bad idea to attack them. Or do I think, that is totally bona fide game on for that particular...
Yes, Radagast, bunnies that pull his sledge.
Exactly.
Give me a traditions roll.
Luckily, I am not bad at traditions, so disadvantage, traditions, prepare to be
amazed,
pissed off.
And how? Holy shit! You really aren't bad at that at all, are you?
Yeah.
No, you think. I mean, they are hunted. They're hunted near Rhosgobel. People eat them frequently. They don't overhunt, so they wouldn't kill. And they don't kill
all of them.
Pregnant females, for example. But yeah, rabbits are hunted frequently.
In which case, if I think it's game on, then I will happily try and hunt one. But I am knackered after our trap.
Okay, so good luck. So you make a wisdom survival check to see if you can successfully trap one or hunt one.
Are we able to assist?
Disadvantage because
John.
No, this is pure a skill challenge for one of the rolls.
And out in the open or in the tower?
Do it in the open and have a good old laugh. You'll know if you didn't catch one or not. So.
20 to 20. Oh!
Holy shit! I've never seen someone roll a 20 with disadvantage before. That's impressive work. Okay, so why?
Skinned them all. Potted them all.
So with that roll, I'm going to give you both options. Normally you've got a choice. So you can prepare a meal with that, which will restore 1 exhaustion level to everyone, which is really handy for you guys at the moment. And because you rolled 2 20s, you discover in this field of herbs a potentially valuable herb to you.
Fantastic.
Also, because of the meal, you'll get a modifier to the arrival roll because you ate so well. I mean, you got a couple of really fat rabbits and really tasty. You found some stuff to cook with them. It's the best meal you've had since you left. Probably even as good as the ones you were eating in the hall. Definitely the best you've eaten on the road, and you feel fantastic afterwards. Well done, amazing roll. And you can, I don't normally give it for dice rolls. It's pure luck, but I think that was worth an inspiration.
Yeah, wow.
For you, have us there. So give yourself inspiration. And you can remove your exhaustion for both of you. That's an amazing outcome for everyone, all concerned, really. Let me see what herb you find. Roll percentile, Chris. 16. Okay, at least it's at the top of the table. It's going to start near the A's.
I think I have stumbled across Radagast's secret stash of powerful herbs and tasty bunnies. What we found.
Okay, this is really rare. So you've discovered on some hardy-looking bushes growing around where the rabbits are feeding some really small kind of yellow fruit, which you collect enough for a dose of, resembling a small cherry, but they're very yellow. They're not dark red at all. At the moment, you don't recognize them. You don't know what it does, but you know it's probably got some decent medicinal properties with your herb. Actually, make a you've got a herbalism kit. Make a herbalism check. See if you do know what it is. No.
Okay.
It's really rare. So you're pretty convinced Radagast will probably know where it is. And if you wanted to, you could leave a pin in the map.
Yes, I think so.
Saying that there is a source of this yellow berry here or yellow fruit here too. Okay, guys, and without much further ado, you end up at Rhosgobel. Whole journey took you about 9-10 days, but you get there fairly good spirits. Just see if actually it's not relevant because you're not adventuring, you're just basically recuperating, so you don't need to make an arrival roll, especially as there's a sanctuary. So you get to the sanctuary, you're welcome back in. You find out from Radagast that there is indeed a Folkmoot planned, and you're seeing a busier Hathis than you've ever really seen in around Rhosgobel. You've been to a few Folkmoots, so this seems to be quite a large one. People are coming from further afield than normal. And what do you want to do when you get there? You've got a little bit of time to wait yet before the Folkmoot starts.
Well, can we find out what's the purpose of the Folkmoot? Is it called by someone or? What exactly is it?
It is basically like a council meeting of like the leadership around Wilderland. This one, typically, it's people west of Mirkwood, in the Western Eaves, up as far as maybe the foothills of the Grey Mountains. It's quite maybe the East Nether Vales. Yeah, I mean, you know that Heartfast was invited, and he's well west of the river, so people are coming from quite a distance.
So it's a good opportunity to pick up sort of rumours and.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's
what's
sharing
going on in the
news,
whole
all that
area.
kind of stuff. Absolutely, yeah.
So can we use the time before it to just sort of socialise and try and pick up any information that we can?
Yeah, absolutely. So you've got probably at least a week, and people will start arriving during that time as well. But you can even, I don't know, do some hunting around outside Rhosgobel, all that kind of stuff. You can research the herbs. There's a whole bunch of stuff you can do if you're interested.
Yeah, I think we should tell Vadagast or someone about that ruins we found with the tainted trees or whatever they were.
Yeah, so that's a great point. What are you telling him? So you're telling him about. So the last time you met him, you appraised him of what was going on in Gladden Fields.
Yeah.
They investigated, and it looks like everything disappeared from there. You're now telling him about probably unrelated orc activity under Mountain Hall.
Goblin activity.
Yeah, goblin activity. Yeah, and you speak to him about it. He asks you a lot of questions around the dwarven nature of it. So Monin really focused a lot on asking you questions. He trusts your views on what was going on down there more than anyone else. He seems like puzzling himself, and he seems to be making some notes about what you saw there, possibly to do some further research. When you ask about and show him this fruit, he beams and says, that's I can't remember the name of it. Sorry, that is Avhale. Interesting. You found this locally? Rarely found outside of Surrey Lane, in the rest of Cardaland, but it's very nutritious, very tasty. It's also the main ingredient of potent brandy that's made in that region. I don't know whether you ate any, and you didn't. You maybe tasted it, but yeah, every one of these provides nutrition for one day. It's the equivalent of a hearty meal.
Wow.
People do collect these to provide very light, nutritious food. It does have a addictive properties, however, so would not necessarily rely on these. They're okay at a pinch. And but boy, does Steve know about addiction.
Yeah, in the Rollmaster campaign, not real life.
Sorry. Just in case people are listening in on that stream. Yeah, in the Rollmaster campaign, it is a pretty low addiction factor, but it's all relative. DC is 3, which means basically if you roll 3 or more, you're fine. If you roll 1 or 2, you can become addicted to it. And they're actually really hard to find normally. So I'll unhide that for you. You can see the full information on that now.
And that's where I'll leave this episode. Thanks very much for watching, listening, subscribing, following, all that lovely stuff. Happy gaming. Cheers.